Hello everyone, it is Sue here and welcome to the next video in my December Daily 2019 video series. I am going to be working on a prayer card. So last year I made 4 prayer tags, really big ones. They were big. Um, and I'll put the playlist below so that you can see. And so I want to do something similar this year, but instead of making tags, what I'm going to do is actually use this paper. And the size of it is, let's see, I don't even know the size. It is 6 by 4.5. So what I'm going to do with it is once they're done, I'm hoping to do 4 again this year. I have the Simple Stories album, so I'm going to cut the 2 holes. I'll punch the 2 holes, and it's actually going to be like a page in my album, December Daily album. So let me kind of tell you my thought here on what I want to do. So I really like this particular painting of a tree, right? Obviously. And I like it very much. I put some gold, like a frame around it, and I like that. I like that there's snow on it. I like the splattering. I like the colors. I just like it. The reason why I have, what's it called? Masking tape is because, I'll tell you why. I tore this by accident. I was tearing the paper out of like a binder, and it tore the paper. So I tried gluing it and that didn't work and whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put some masking tape on because I like masking tape. And then to kind of make it feel like it was supposed to be there, I put another piece of masking tape down here. And I mean, you can see that there's something going on under there, but you know what? I'm going with it. So, I mean, there are all kinds of trees to paint, right? Or to draw. All kinds, all colors. And yeah, so, but I think I'm going to stick with something similar to this for today. I will probably, for these prayer cards, I will probably do a different pine tree on the front of every prayer card. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the paper that I have is called B paper, watercolor paper, B-E-E. B paper, and you can get it at Michael's, and that's where I got this. And so I cut it up, and I'm going to use that. I did pull out this little wood veneer that says joy. I have my gold most amazing ever pen. I also pulled out my Jane Davenport. I forget what this is called, but it has such a beautiful tip and you can write so beautifully with it. I pulled that out and we'll see. I also have my Dr. P.H. Martin's Blood Proof White, which is how I do the snow. And then I have my watercolors, and I'll be pulling colors from that. I also plan on putting scripture on the front, and it was so hard for me to choose, so hard. I mean, I've been reading through Isaiah. Well, I mean, I've been reading through the Bible chronologically for over 200 days now, right? So anybody that's read the Bible in a year, it's I don't know. There's certain books that it's just hard to get through. But Isaiah, oh my gosh, towards the end of it, just promise after promise after promise after promise from God. And I really, I, I decided on Isaiah 41, verse 13. It says, "For I hold you by your right hand, I, the Lord your God. And I say to you, don't be afraid. I am here to help you." So that's what I want to try to put on this little piece of paper along with the tree. So let's go ahead and start. So a lot of times when I do a tree, to be honest, I kind of go a little too crazy and the tree starts little and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm going to try not to do that this time. I don't know if it's possible. Who knows? Oh, and I do have my, I have two jars of water in my pretty blue jars. And I do have my, let me grab it because I didn't do that yet, a piece of paper towel. All right, so that's what I have when I do watercolor. So this is going to be a wet on wet technique. So I have a Princeton Angular Wash brush, the Heritage Collection. It's a 3/4 inch. All I'm doing, in fact, let me move this stuff over just a little bit. What I'm doing is I just want to get this paper wet. That's all I'm doing. I'm just putting water on it at this point. You don't want puddles, but you do want it wet. And the way to tell if you have it all wet or not is to kind of look sideways in the light and you can see that, that it's all wet. All right, so that is that. So now I'm going to paint the tree. I think I'll start with, you know what, I'm going to start with a lighter color. I just got this color, so it's a new color green for me, and it is called olive green. And I'm going to start with that. So I have to turn this just a little bit. So I'm taking my a brush from Wonder Forest here on YouTube. She has her own set of brushes that she sells. And this is a size 10. So watch how pretty this is. Do you see that? So wet on wet, it takes on a life of its own. It is amazingly beautiful. I love it. So what I want to try not to do is to make it too big because it's going to grow. I know it's going to grow. It is. It just is. So, you know, I'm going to kind of stop there for the first color. I'm going to kind of leave that. I'm going to come in with a darker green now. And this darker green is called Undersea Green. Undersea Green. Oh, and the watercolors are Daniel Smith. And this Undersea Green has proven to be one of my absolute favorite colors of green. Absolute favorite. I use it for, for leaves and trees and just love it. I like the deep color of it. So I'm losing my point to my tree. And now you can see why my trees grow. So the last color, well, I think the last color is a beautiful blue called Mayan Blue Genuine. Excuse me. And it just pulls in such a pretty, pretty color, blue. And it is almost like a blue spruce color, almost. And I don't know, I just like it. I've only started watercolor painting just, I don't know, two months ago. I don't know that it's been 3 months, maybe 2 months. And yeah, so, already I have grown to love certain colors. I just think that Daniel Smith paint is the best thing ever. So if you're going to purchase any watercolor paints, you know, try, if you can, to purchase an artist grade brand like Daniel Smith. It's just such a pleasure to work with. All right, so I really like that. Now the tree is going to dry a lot lighter than that. For now, we're going to leave it like that. I have no idea where I'm going to write all the scripture on here. No idea. So I'm now going to actually pull a couple of browns from this little palette that I have. And this color is the burnt sienna. And then I'm going to pull a little bit of burnt umber. So I'm just going to come down. And this is the other thing that kind of grows for me is my tree. I can never remember the name of it. My tree trunk. Gosh, what is it with that word in me? And now I'm just going to come in with a little bit darker brown. I'm going to let it do its thing. See that? I'm just going to let it do its thing. That's good, because when it dries, it's going to look a little bit more like a tree, a real tree trunk. You know what? I think I'm going to pull in a little bit of this black. Just a little bit. Okay. Oh, that was too much. Well, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. One thing I've learned about watercolor painting is that don't futz with it if you don't have to. Try not to futz with it. All right, so let me go ahead and dry this. And we're going to go ahead and then I want to give it a little bit more definition. Then we're going to put snow on it. We're going to splatter gold and red and whatever we want on top of it. And yeah, I need to make the point of this a little pointier, I think, because it looks too fat to me at the moment. But we'll figure it out. Now, it doesn't have to be all dry, but you can see as it dries, it definitely turns a little bit duller in color. All right, I do need it dry for the snow, or else the snow is going to turn a different color, which I don't really want because it's, all right. So I'm noticing there's a couple spots that just like have little puddles. So I'm going to do this, which also gives an extra special touch to the tree, which I like. All right, so I think I'm going to, what do I want to do? Let me think. I'm going to come in with, I think I'm going to do a color called Green Appetite Genuine. It is a green. I could mess it up at this point, so bear with me. I'm going to put a lot of water on here, so I'm getting it really wet because I want this paint to move around. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Let me make the point a little pointier. Let me wipe some of that off. And to wipe, if you get too much paint somewhere, just dab on your paper towel and wipe it up. All right, and whoops, oh, that was close. I almost dripped that right on the background. Again, I'm going in my water, then I'm going into the paint and grabbing the paint. Water, paint, so it's really wet. Like that. I like that. I do. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And then we're gonna go ahead and we will put some snow on top. Then we're gonna put our splatter. Look at this amazing splatter. Isn't it gorgeous? Like, look at it, I'll hold it up close. Like, I have like, I don't know, at least 3 different colors of splatter. At least 3. So we will see. We will see. And in order for me to fit the verse on here, let me open this up. And I'm just trying to think. I'm going to make it fit because it's important to me on my prayer cards to have scripture. So I'm going to make it fit. Now, I may not be able to use that special pen that is this one right here from Jane Davenport, because you kind of need, well, a decent amount of space in order to write with that. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with more of a regular pen to write it on here, which is fine. I'll probably use my favorite, oh, where'd it go? I was just using it. Well, I'll have to find it. Here it is, my black Uniball. I'll probably write with this. Okay, so now we are going to do the snow. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my bleed-proof white. I like to use, for the snow, a brush like this that has a flat side to it. Now this is still slightly wet up on top here, but this is a good shape to put snow down. Right? So I'm taking a good amount because I like it to be almost dimensional. So like when this dries, I'm going to be able, if I ran my finger across it, I will be able to feel the snow because it'll be raised. All right, I just want to make sure I get in the right spots. Now this is going to take a bit to dry, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. What I'll do is, while it's even wet, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the splatter. Okay, now I probably shouldn't do this because I can tell it's wet, but I'm going to. All right. I can put some more white snow up top there later if need be. All right, so I'm thinking snow-wise, we are in good shape. Okay. Now we're going to splatter. All right, so this is how I like to splatter. I'm going to take this brush. It is a Princeton size 12, and I know that I want to use this beautiful iridescent color, which is Aztec Gold. I'll probably pull in some red. So I'm going to start activating these. I don't know, maybe even this darker color. It's almost like a maroon. But what I'm going to do, and this is going to get messy, So let me kind of move some things out of the way because I'm all about messy splatters. So I'm just telling you. So I put a whole bunch of water on this brush. It's a big brush. And I'm just going to start splattering. I'm splattering on the wet snow. I don't care. It's good. It's not going to really make a difference with the snow. And if it did a little bit, I am good with that. All right, so that's our iridescent gold. I just want to make sure I get as much off of here as I possibly can. All right. Now, and I love it when it's wet and it just all kind of comes together. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this much golder or lighter gold. It's actually called iridescent topaz. And I'm going to splatter this around. Looks like I'm going to have to fill this one up pretty soon. Same thing over the tree, all over. Okay, good. Now I'm going to pull in some red. So this color is called Permanent Red Deep. Look at that. Look at all that yummy paint on that brush. And you know what? I think I'm going to try to keep the red splatter on the tree itself and not all over the card. I'm going to get a little bit more. Awesome. Awesome. All right, let me do a quick little cleanup here. I'm just going to kind of pick this up and move it over. And I want to clean up this area just a little bit. Let me get my brush. I don't like to leave my brushes in the water. So I got that out. Let me clean this up. And if need be, you can just spray a little bit of water. And I don't know what that is. It should just come right up. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry. And I will come back. So I'm going to come back. Look at all the beautiness of that, right? So I'm trying to get it to where you can see the gold, right? The background. You'll be able to see it better when it dries, but that's my prayer card so far. I will be back. I want this to dry. I'm going to leave it for probably at least an hour. Let it dry, and I'm going to come back and write on it. I think I will also, once it dries, just put a dab of white snow on the top up there. And let's compare the two. I mean, I don't know that I would ever do two exactly the same. I think it's impossible to do two exactly the same, but the steps are there. I'm also going to come back in and do the gold around, like a frame around it. Yeah, so I will be back. All right, so it has been about an hour. Everything dried. Let me show you the pretty, how that gold is just beautiful. Beautiful. See that? See how gorgeous it is? Oh my gosh, just look like right here. Look at how pretty that is. Well, anyway, so I'm loving it. And as you can see, I put the scripture on here. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, so I didn't want to, take the time to do it on the video. So I did it, off the video so I could think about it. I did use my Signo Uniball black pen. And now for the last piece to this, I am taking my gold pen. I don't know, is it paint? Paint. It is paint. No, it's not paint. I don't know what this is, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't know what it is. All I know is I really like it. So what I'm thinking about at this point is, where do I want to put this little joy, right? So I know I want to cover it in the gold. And I was thinking of putting it towards the bottom down here. I mean, you could do the middle of the tree. If all these words weren't up here, you could even do, you know, like a topper on the tree. I like it in the middle, and I like it down there. I don't know. I'm just going to really quickly take this gold pen and color on the top of the wood, the little wood veneer. I have used this word joy so many times already in my December daily. Oh my gosh, so many times. These little wood veneers, or whether they're pieces, you know, of the ephemera from the kit or stickers. I guess it's all about joy for me, I suppose. All right, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Where should I put? Where should I put this? Should I put it in the middle or towards the bottom? Let's see. Let me hold it up here again. So I do see, you know what? I'm thinking it has to go there. Now that the gold is on it, look at, oh my gosh. Okay, now I know. So I'm gonna take my wet adhesive, if I can find it, and the one I'm looking for, I'm not spotting, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and pull out this Tombow Aqua liquid glue. I'm not going to put a lot on here. I'm just going to put a little dab here and there. Just enough, right? Just enough. Because I don't want it gushing out. And we're going to put it like right there. I had to go up just a little bit because there's a blob of snow right there. I'm just going to hold it up to make sure it's straight and it looks good. And there we go. Is it straight? It's a little crooked. Let me see if I can straighten it just a tad. Okay, good. I'm going to leave it before I break it. Then the last thing I'm going to do is I do want to put a little bit of a frame around here. So it's a nice, messy little frame, which really just gives it that final touch, right? Have you noticed that when you do that, whether it's a scrapbook page, it can be a mixed media page, sometimes just putting a little border around just gives it that finished touch. All right. I'm loving this. What do you guys think? So this is perfect. So again, I'll be punching 2 holes to put into my album, which is right here. But most importantly, see, this is how it's going to go. I'll punch the holes and it will go right in the rings. There's another tree that I had painted. But the most important thing is the prayer that I'm going to write on the back of this. So I will do that privately, and I will write on the back my prayer for my family, right? For each of my kids, for my granddaughter, for my parents and my brothers and their wives, just everything and everybody, what my prayers are for everyone. And I will be doing 3 more of these, different trees, but 3 more of these. And I was thinking about doing YouTube Live. Let me know if you would like for me to do a YouTube Live. So if you're over in the December Daily Inspiration Group Facebook page, I would post over there so you would know when I was going to go live. And we can do a little bit of a tutorial together, right? You can use it as a journaling card. You can use it just to adhere onto a page, right? If you didn't want to add scripture, you don't have to add scripture. You can just paint a tree. But for me, this is an important piece to my December daily, something I started in 2018. So this is my second year doing this. So let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and leave a comment. And if you would like to join the December daily Facebook page that I have, I'll have the link in the description box. And I also try to post it, pin it in the comments. And I'll make sure that I also have the 2018 prayer tags. I have a little playlist with the 4 prayer tags if you want to check that out. So thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderfully blessed week. All right, bye-bye, everybody.